Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you really quickly how you can create cards. I'm going to send a template. I'm going to call it card template. I'm going to leave that Adobe Illustrator file on your classroom. But the way I figure it is that if you're able to create a front and a back for your cards and then have a third layer, as you can see up here, which is the cut layer, you should be able to then double-sided print your cards onto one sheet of maybe thickish A4 paper, then laminate them, and then send that into the laser cutter, and then using the cut vector layer, we can cut those cards out so they're perfect. So we don't have that problem that you can see on some of the previous games where the cards aren't all the same. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. You can see here, I've got just this blank sheet here, which is what you will get. And then I've got a layer called front, and then I've got a layer called back. Yeah, so you can see that's the layer called the front, and that's the front of the card, the top part of the cards, and then that would be on the back part of the cards. Okay, so the way I would do that is I'd start by opening up that this document that I'm going to share with you. Yeah, and then the first thing I'm going to do, I think I've got it here in my downloads. I had this image here, which was the image of the card that I wanted. Yeah, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to hold my shift button down so it stays X and Y the same, and I'm going to put it in about the center. To be honest, I'm not sure whether that is the center, but that looks about right. Yeah. The best way of copying and pasting I've recently found is by going Shift and Option, and I can click it, and then Shift Option, and then I can pull it across, and it'll pull it into exactly the right spot. Yeah. And if I wanted to repeat that, I can go Command D. Yeah, which is to duplicate again. Yeah. So do that once more. I'm going to hold that one. I'm going to hold that one. I'm going to hold that one. I'm going to go Shift Option, click. Oh, sorry, click. Oh, hang on, sorry. Let's try that again. Shift. Yep, got them all. Shift, Option, click. I don't know why I didn't grab the other one. Sorry. Let me click outside again. Let's try it again. 1, Shift button. 2, Shift button. 3, Shift, Option. And then I'm going to pull it down to there. Yeah. And if I wanted to repeat that, remember Command D, duplicate. And if I zoom out, you can see them all there. Okay. So I've got that on the back layer. Yeah. So that's the back layer. Yeah. Now I'm going to, and the other thing that I would do is I would lock that so I can't change that. Now I'm going to go to the front layer and I'm going to turn the back layer off. Yeah. And I'm going to start by inserting some text. I'm going to put the text in here somewhere. And I'm just going to put a standard question. Yeah. Question, what is your dog's name? Question mark. Okay. So I'm going to move it into the center. Go back to text. I'm going to highlight it. Come on. Sorry. Take that text and I'm going to go to properties. I'm going to make it centered. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than that. And then move it here until I'm happy with where it is. Obviously, what is your dog's name? That's not going to work. So what I'm going to make it, enter there. What is your dog's name? Yeah. And I'm going to move that into the center as well. Yeah. So that looks about the center. And obviously I'll be changing. I'm going to delete that. So obviously I'm going to be changing that around to suit. Yeah. So again, what do? I go Option Shift, click it and move it. Yeah. And then I go Command D to duplicate that again. Okay. That one, hold my Shift button down. That one, hold my Shift button down. That one. Shift Option, click into the middle. Yeah. And then Command D to do it again. So it should be there. And it should be there. Yeah. Okay. So that's done. So if I go back to my layers, I've now got my cut layer that when the job is finished, it goes to the laser cutter. I've got the front cards, the front of the cards, sorry, and the back of the cards. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to turn that off. So I've just got that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File. I'm going to save it as. And I'm going to save it onto my computer. This is really important. Yeah. I want to save it as a PDF document, and I'm going to call it card back PDF. I'm going to save it into downloads. Okay. Continue with PDF, save as PDF. Okay, now I'm going to turn that one on and that one off, and I'm going to go File, Save As. Yep, File, Save As. On my computer, I'm going to call it card front, and I'm going to save it on downloads as a PDF. Save. Okay, save as PDF. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Finder, and you're going to see that I've got the list. The things that I've just recently downloaded. There's the card back and the card front. I'm going to open up card front, and I'm going to open up card back. Yeah, and I've got them both open there. Yeah. How do I put that one and that one together so I can double-sided print it? I'll show you. I'm going to go like that to thumbnails. I'm going to go like that to thumbnails. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that into here. Delete that. And now can you see that card back has that one and that one? Okay. So now when I go Command P print, yeah, I've got 2 pages. I make sure that I'm double-sided printing it. Yeah, wherever it says print in color, double-sided on. Yeah. And then this will print out in double-sided. Yeah. If I can send it through as ISB printers. Yeah. Once I've got that, I've got one here that's already printed that you can't see. I would then laminate it. Yeah. And then once I've laminated it, cancel, get out of that. Yeah. Once I've laminated, I would then send this job here to the laser cutter, and I would have the laser cutter cut those cards out perfectly. Okay, so it's really important that when you do your 2 printouts, your front and your back, make sure these cut vectors are turned off. If they're turned on, what's going to happen is that if I send it through to the laser cutter may not be able to exactly cut along that line. Do you know what I mean? So what I would be doing is I would be trying to not have those lines on, yeah, like that, print it out like that, and then the laser cutter can just cut through those lines. And if it's out by 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to notice that. Okay. Remember, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do. You know, you could give this color, this whole piece of paper a different color if you wanted to. Yeah, so I could add another layer, and I could call this color, let's say, and I could make that color. I could just go like this. Yeah. But then, of course, the problem with that is that if I've got to make it a color, then I'm going to need to make sure that I take all the cut out of that. Yeah, so that's not going to work. Yeah, so I'd need to make sure that this brainstorm logo thing is a PNG. Yeah, so that's not going to work. Yeah, but maybe I could do that for the front. Yeah, so just keep those things in mind. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm going to say I'm going to chuck that in the rubbish bin. I'm going to send you or leave on your classroom a blank version of this. So it'll just look like that, yeah, and it'll say back and it'll say front, and those will be empty. And with that, you should be able to, yeah, create your own cards. Obviously, this is just for 9 cards. If you've got 25 cards or 30 cards, then you're going to need to maybe save that back one there, yeah, like that, yeah, and then all the different fronts that you then create, yeah, you'll save a bunch of those, and every time you set up a file, when you go into those PDFs and the thumbnails, you drag that back into the card questions, drag the back into the card questions, double-sided print it. It's the best way I can think of to create high quality cards. Okay, so good luck. I'm going to stop blaring on. I think that this will be a really good solution. Okay, great.